Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I'm going to be starting today with the Burning Heart Love Oracle. This isn't a deck that I usually start with, but I'm just really feeling that there might be a message here for us today. So, wow, the very first card to come out here is, I need to tell you the truth. So someone is coming up really strongly on your energy who wants to communicate something to you. This may be someone who wants to have some kind of conversation with you about how they're feeling. And right as I said that, we have the card, I hate seeing you with them. I also had the card come out even prior to starting this reading at the bottom of the deck that says, you deserve so much better than them, but I didn't take that card immediately because it came out before the reading had even started, but now that's feeling really relevant to this strand of energy coming through the reading, because clearly there is someone who is perceiving that you are with someone else or possibly connecting with other people. Now, that may or may not actually be true from your end. You may or may not be romantically with or connecting with others. But this is someone who feels disconnected from you in the physical in some way, and that's causing them to wonder if you are connecting with others, or again, in some cases, you might be in some other kind of romantic connection or relationship, or you may be opening yourself up to dating other people, and only you can know how that applies for you personally. My guides are also letting me know that these messages are pretty hyper specific to a certain group of people. So if this isn't connecting for you right away, that doesn't mean that there won't be a message in this reading for you, because we will be channeling many different messages, energies, pieces of information that could come from people who are playing different roles in your lives that may connect, of course, with different portions of our collective here. And as I always say through these readings, the number one goal that I have with these videos is to help you connect more consciously with your own intuition. So only take the messages that do connect with you in an intuitive and personal way. Okay, so I am shuffling the Twin Flame Tarot deck, although of course this connection may or may not be a Twin Flame specific connection. But I find that the cards in this deck are really useful to pulling through messages about soul connections generally. So this card says vibration, energy, and positivity. Raise your vibration to attract what you desire. I actually feel that this is a message to this person who is connected to you, who feels physically as though they are apart from you in the 3D. It's almost as though their spirit guides and the guides that are assigned to this connection, because for some of you, I am getting there are specific spirit guides that are assigned to the both of you jointly, or to overseeing the unfolding of this connection. But regardless, it's almost as though this person's guides are trying to communicate to them that if they want to attract you more strongly into their life, or if they want to connect with you more consistently, they're going to have to raise their vibration to your level. They're not going to be able to kind of push things into place with you in the physical, because you are operating very intuitively at this time, and you are responding very intuitively, not to the physical, not to appearances, but to energy and to vibration. And so if this person is wanting to connect more with you in the physical world, they actually have to raise their own vibration to meet you on your level. Otherwise, because you are so intuitively guided, because you are really listening to the energy of people and situations, on some level, you are going to be able to sense when this person is out of sync with you on a vibrational level, when they are not meeting you where you are energetically. And when that happens, your intuition will steer you away from connecting with this person physically, even if you don't consciously understand the mechanics of exactly why you are feeling steered away from them, why you are feeling as though you are intuitively not wanting to connect in certain ways. So a message for you on your side of this equation is that you've been doing such a wonderful job listening to that intuitive voice within yourself, feeling out the energy of people and situations, and trusting that guidance. And I just feel someone's guides telling them to continue doing that, really admonishing you to stay on that track, because it is leading you to everything that you desire. It is aligning you with very high vibrational timelines. But this is a path that many people around you will not fully be able to consciously grasp or understand. I am getting the word magical. This comes out a lot when we talk about how other people are thinking of you, because you are almost being perceived as like this magical being where others don't really understand how you do it, but they know that your life seems to unfold in really beautiful ways, that things seem to be powerfully starting to manifest for you, starting to come into alignment for you. Now, I am picking up that subconsciously you may be getting reactions from people that might be impacting your energy or your mind a little bit. So a major download that's been coming through the last couple days that I've actually been receiving over the weekend, even prior to doing this reading, a major download coming through is that sometimes your thoughts are not your own, meaning very often when certain thoughts pop into your head that feel off to you or feel like distractions or feel lower vibrational, sometimes these thoughts are being picked up telepathically by your environment, by collective thought forms around you, meaning there might be certain group think patterns in your family, in your community, in your culture, and you can actually telepathically pick up on these group think patterns in a way that causes certain thoughts or ideas or things to pop into your head that feel lower vibrational to you. The word tense is coming out. So when this happens, you might feel a kind of tension emotionally. You might even feel it physically as a form of tension, which is why so much of your work at this time is about releasing that tension, creating a feeling of ease, whether that's in your life generally, whether that's in your physical body, like in a literal sense, using yoga, stretching, forms of movement or exercise, even breath work, to find ways to release that physical bodily tension and come back to that state of ease and relaxation, which really is your natural state. This also could be creating a feeling of ease in your environment, trying to build more of that into even your daily rituals, your daily routine. The reason this is so important is because it actually calibrates you more consciously to that energy of ease, which is connected to the generalized energy of alignment, meaning the alignment of all of your goals, dreams, and desires unfolding in perfect harmony with one another. So the more often you're able to come into and sustain that easy feeling, releasing that tension in your body, in your life, in your day, you are actually calibrating yourself more consciously to higher vibrations. Therefore, when you telepathically receive these lower vibrations, you will be able to more actively and instantly identify them. And you'll be able to tell, this isn't aligned with my core state. Therefore, this is not mine. This is coming from something externally. Because very often you can even pick up on, again, those groupthink thought clouds, so to speak, thought forms. You can pick up on limiting beliefs that certain people have around you that you've actually already released in yourself and in your own life. So don't judge yourself so harshly if you do find that certain lower vibrational thoughts or things or limiting ideas come into your mind. Don't be so quick to be harsh on yourself, because very often these are telepathically picked up from other people or things around you. But it is so important to be aware of that, and also not to necessarily act on all of these thought impulses that come into your mind, but to really ask yourself how they feel to you on a core level first. Like, does this feel aligned with my path? Does this feel aligned with my core vibrational state? Or is this some kind of limiting belief or some kind of fear that I'm actually subconsciously picking up on from other people? I'm also getting that as you are really walking this path of courageously sharing yourself, sharing your truth, possibly creating certain things in your world, you might be creating something literally in a creative sense. You might be creating a relationship, a family, a home, a career, a business, whatever you are creating. There are people who are reacting in fear to what you are doing and what you are creating, because it is so powerful, because it is so different from what they are accustomed to seeing. So it's like these fear-based reactions can be telepathically felt and picked up by you, and at times can even feel like thoughts that are popping into your own mind or emotions that you yourself are feeling. But again, use a very high degree of discretion in determining which thoughts, feelings, energies are yours and which are being picked up by others. Because those strong energetic boundaries, that ability to really discern what's yours and what is other, and discarding energetically what is other, is going to be such a powerful tool moving forward, continuing to boldly create and live and operate as you are, in alignment with who you really are at the core. We also have the card Union, Reconciliation, Eternal Love. Your time has come. And I'm getting that you may have had this sense of something really big coming into focus. Now, this is going to look different from person to person, but I am getting that for many of you listening, this is related to love and romance. You may feel this sense as though something very ancient or something very powerful, spiritually speaking, is beginning to come into focus, especially for those of you connecting with this in a romantic sense. This could very much be what we sometimes think of as a union energy. So this kind of like incoming powerful union state with a soul that you are really deeply connected to at the spiritual level. I keep hearing union window. So there might literally be a window of time opening up in your life, or beginning to open up, that is going to allow you to more easily come into a union state within one of these powerful soul connections, if that is something that you desire or something that you've been manifesting. And again, this may be something that intuitively you've actually been able to sense coming into focus. Now, we do have the card Observe, social media, fascination, curiosity, watching from a distance. And this actually seems to connect with that person who needs to tell you some kind of truth, who said that they hated the idea of seeing you with someone else. Again, whether that is something happening literally or not, this person is also the one being advised subconsciously by their own spirit guides. I don't feel this is most likely happening consciously in most cases for this person, but subconsciously, their guides are trying to get them to raise their vibration, to meet you on your level if they're wanting to connect with you. And in the meantime, you are going to feel intuitively repelled by or disconnected from this person, or things are just going to feel out of sync, like connecting with them physically just isn't flowing or isn't working. Whenever that happens, those are actually signs that for whatever reason, your guides and your intuition are steering you away from that person physically at the moment. And again, very often this actually occurs to push the other person into their own healing and introspection, and ultimately to push them to raise the bar for themselves, to raise their own vibration, to connect with you, rather than you lowering your vibration to connect with them. Now, the guides are also saying that this is going to be a theme in your life far beyond love and romance, even if it's connecting specifically for you in this way, in this reading. Know that this applies to friendships, family members, relationships generally. You are going to find that you are going to be intuitively or spiritually disconnected from certain individuals in your life who are not on your level vibrationally. And you're really being asked to not fight the process at that level of human consciousness, at that level of ego, but to really allow yourself to be aligned in the moment with the ones who are aligned with your energy, with your vibration, and to allow those who are not entering your life physically or connecting with you consistently physically to do their own inner work, to be able to raise their vibration and connect with you on a higher level, rather than giving in to the temptation to lower your vibration or to step out of your own flow in order to connect with them. This is a major lesson and theme coming up for us collectively, those of us who really are on the leading edge of being part of this ascension process where we are assisting humanity in raising the collective vibration. And if you've connected with this video, know that you are playing a very large role in what is going on collectively at a spiritual level at this time as well, in the unseen realm. Your personal choices to stand in your power, to speak your truth, to follow your intuition moment by moment actually have this huge ripple effect collectively, so far beyond what you may be able to consciously perceive or document in some kind of way. Just know that your personal choices are having such a ripple effect. You are having such a huge collective impact at this time. You are such a powerful being as well. Whoever I'm speaking to, you carry such a powerful energy that you shift the energy of a room just by walking into it. Your energy literally impacts environments. This is going to sound super strange, but there are times where your energy has even had the ability to impact the weather in your area around you, where you've been, for example, feeling in kind of a stormy or dark mood, and you may have noticed that it started raining or storming, or the opposite, where you were really lightening your mood, clearing your energy, and it almost like cleared the weather around you. Now, I know that this may not apply for everyone, and this may not even happen all the time necessarily, but it's just a sign that your energy is making this huge ripple effect. It has this huge impact on people, spaces, things, environments around you, even things that you would be shocked that you are affecting or impacting. I'm also hearing that you are inspiring so many others than you realize consciously, because many of the ones who are being inspired by you are not reaching out to necessarily communicate that to you or to tell you that. So Again, this isn't just limited to people you've been romantically connected with. This is people from your past platonically, people from past work environments, perhaps school environments from your childhood, family members, acquaintances, people who hear of or get a sense of the moves you're making, feel so deeply inspired by what is going on in your life. So I did pull a couple cards as we were going through that whole download. And what I'm seeing here is this Knight of Swords energy. So it's interesting because this exact card came out in the last reading as well. I can't remember if it was in the main YouTube reading or the extended reading. But regardless, when that card came out in the last reading, we said that this is a very fast moving, well, in that reading, it was a masculine energy. Now, of course, these labels, divine masculine and divine feminine, are just labels, and we all have a balance internally of both the divine feminine and divine masculine, but these also could apply to an external person or situation. So always take those labels as they resonate for you personally, but for many of you, especially those of you connecting here as a divine feminine, I'm getting the energy of a masculine who wants to move so fast with you. It's almost coming off as impulsive. Now, this may actually be the same person here who is saying that they hate seeing you with others, or they hate the idea of seeing you with others. They want to communicate with something to you. They are very hasty here, wanting to move very fast with Knight of Pentacles reversed. It's almost as though they're feeling restless. I'm getting a lot of restless energy from this masculine. Also impatient with themselves, like it's almost someone who's been on this paused energy for a long time, or maybe for a while you didn't hear from this person, you were disconnected, they seem to not be moving towards you at all, but it's the energy of someone going from being at a complete stop to suddenly moving very fast. You will know how that connects for you, but that's what I'm getting from them, because with the Four of Cups in the reverse position, this is someone who almost came off in the past as being like apathetic, being at a standstill, being a bit lukewarm, we could say, about you or about this connection. At least that's how they were coming off physically in the 3D. And I'm hearing the guides say that the reason they were appearing this way is actually because of their fear that was subconsciously holding them back. It's as though this person was afraid to come off too strong, afraid to bare their heart, to show their emotions so openly, that they did the exact opposite and came off as almost completely indifferent or completely apathetic for a period of time towards you or towards this connection. But now suddenly with the Seven of Pentacles upright, this is someone who, this is such a complex kind of dynamic that this person is experiencing, because yes, on the one hand, they're feeling impatient with themselves, feeling restless, wanting to move very fast and seize an opportunity. But there's also this energy of wanting to invest in this for the long term, wanting to put a lot of time and energy into this for the long term. So it's almost like they're being pushed to make a move, to lock something in with you that they then would like to invest in emotionally and energetically for the long term. They want to see this come to fruition. And so I want to see if I can get any more details about what's going on. With the Observe card, this is someone who seems to have some kind of access to either seeing you, keeping tabs on you, whether that's through social media, whether they have mutual friends with you or people they can ask about you. This person seems to have some way of observing you at this time. We also have the card Outcome, results, conclusion, ending. You will get a resolution. So this is someone who maybe you never got closure with in the past, especially if you have some kind of romantic past with this person. This is someone coming in desperate to see this through. It's like they want, I wouldn't say necessarily closure, because they actually want to lock something in that they can then work towards for the long term, but they want to see this through. They're very determined to see this through at this point in time. And with the balance card, we have yin and yang, darkness and light. Stay centered in your higher self. This card actually came out in kind of a glimpse at the bottom of the deck. I didn't take it at the time, but I saw this card earlier. So there's clearly a really strong message coming through around balance. This may be that the two of you really balance each other out. You may counterbalance each other, so you might actually be very different or even opposite in some ways. This is someone who also feels that you bring a strong sense of balance into their life. I'm hearing specifically emotional balance. So somehow this person feels that when they're around you or when they communicate with you, they are emotionally balanced out in some way. The word softer is coming out as well. So they feel like they can be softer or warmer with you emotionally, or this seems to come much more naturally to them with you than it does with anyone else. Even past connections that they've been reflecting on, they've realized they've never felt so soft and warm and emotionally open towards a feminine energy, if you are coming up here as the divine feminine. So we also have the cards surrender, detach, trust, free fall, have faith that all will be well. So this is a message for a divine feminine listening and connecting with all of this, because the ego, the human self, might have a tendency here, as you've been intuitively picking up on all of this within this person. I'm getting a sense you've almost picked up on their restless energy. It's like you're feeling them feeling impulsive, and it might be kind of affecting you, which makes an interesting full circle, because we really started this reading with that download about being cautious of acting on how other people are actually telepathically transmitting you energy, but really sorting through what is yours, what is other. And so with this surrender card, I see a powerful message for you, divine feminine, through all of this, is to really stay, I'm hearing to stay in your lane, but what the guides mean is to stay on your timeline, to stay on that super high vibrational timeline you've aligned with, to surrender the outcomes here, to not allow yourself to be telepathically or subconsciously influenced, to jump in and try to push this into place or try to control it, but to really maintain that floating state of ease and flow and surrender here, because that's actually what really allows you to stay in your divine feminine empowerment and renders you the most powerful for effortlessly manifesting the highest vibrational outcomes here, not just from this specific person or from this specific connection, although yes, that is the case, but also from your life generally. And it is such an art staying in flow as you've been doing, staying in that mode of surrender, because it's so opposite from what we are so heavily trained and programmed to do by society. So I just feel this very strong message coming through as well of being easy on yourself, celebrating yourself for how well you're doing, for how far you've come, especially in a spiritual sense. I just see your energy has expanded so radically. Again, you've become that powerful force in the spiritual realm that can literally immediately alter the energy of a room you walk into just by being present there. And that's because of what you've done within yourself, how you've actively released those limiting belief systems and patterns and healed your own energy and expanded yourself spiritually and energetically. And again, as we said earlier, this is having such a huge impact on the collective ascension that's taking place as well. So in the extended version of the reading, we are going to be going deeper on this masculine who's clearly been making themselves known through this reading. Now, of course, as I said earlier, those labels masculine and feminine may not apply for you in this reading, or they might be reversed for you. But in that extended reading, we're going to be looking at how this person is thinking and feeling about you on the deepest level consciously at this time, as well as anything that they might want to communicate. I said might want to communicate, but clearly want to communicate because of that card that came out earlier that said that they really wanted to communicate with you. So we will be getting into those messages. We'll also be channeling into anyone or anything else that may be connected to your energy at this time. Those portions of the extended reading are always so interesting because we're really able to pull through messages platonically, romantically, from the past, present, sometimes even the potential future. And so we will be going into that on Patreon as well. If you do feel guided to join me in the extended Patreon reading, the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But here for now, I'm going to be reading a final message from the Rumi Oracle. This card once again actually came out in the last reading. It may have been on Patreon, I can't quite remember, but this is the Cloak of Christ. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. In the school of humanity, when you become intimate with God, you reside on the King's throne and teach the angels the nature of the divine. Now, the guidebook also says here, there is a person, place, thing, or belief that has become like a manacle around your wrist, or an iron ball or leg iron, preventing you from moving forward with the grace you have earned spiritually. You are being empowered here to shed that. Don't hesitate. Let yourself be cloaked in the Christ energy and receive the spiritual assistance you deserve now. There is a reason for this. The unfolding of your life purpose is taking a turn for the better, and your energy is required to fuel that new life. So that feels like a perfect place to close the reading. If my energy resonates with you, of course, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more information, inspiration, and energy updates. The link to the extended Patreon reading, where I will be heading to next, is underneath the video. But otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light. Have a wonderful start to your week, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's reading.